In 2013, in a quiet American town, a boy's head was shoved into a toilet, not once, but twice, while others laughed. He was just 10 years old. A straight-A student. Loved books more than video games. He wasn't weak, just different. And that was enough. What those boys didn't know, is that this quiet kid would rise, not with fists, but with something far more powerful. What happened after would change not only his life, but the lives of hundreds. Teachers. Parents. Even the bullies themselves. This isn't just a story about bullying. It's a story about revenge, the kind that changes systems. And at the heart of it, is a moment that will leave you speechless. So, are you ready for what they didn't see coming? Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. Ethan liked quiet mornings. He'd wake up before his alarm, pack his books neatly, and double-check his math homework, just in case. He was in 5th grade, somewhere in suburban Ohio, where yellow school buses crawled through sleepy streets and lunchboxes smelled like peanut butter and jelly. Ethan wasn't popular, but he didn't care. He loved astronomy, spelling bees, and asking questions teachers didn't always have answers for. Every day, he'd sit in the front row, raise his hand first, and help clean up after class. His parents called him an old soul in a young body. But in the hallways, it was different. The laughter wasn't kind. The stares lasted too long. And sometimes, silence hurt more than words. Ethan thought school was about learning. But he was about to learn something no textbook could prepare him for. It started with a missing lunch. Then, a torn notebook. At first, Ethan thought it was a mistake, maybe someone grabbed the wrong bag. But then came the whispering. His name, followed by Snickers, trailing behind him in the hallway like shadows. One morning, he found his locker open, everything dumped on the floor. A note, scribbled in crude handwriting, read, "Know-it-alls don't belong here." His stomach sank. The classroom still looked the same. The lessons hadn't changed. But something had. Ethan's perfect little routine, broken. His hands started to shake when he raised them. His eyes scanned the room, not for answers, but for faces. And for the first time, he didn't want to go to school. He couldn't explain it, not to his parents, not even to himself. But deep down, he knew, this was only the beginning. The next week, Ethan found glue smeared across his chair. His backpack, soaked in water. No one ever saw who did it. And when he tried to speak up, the teacher sighed, too busy for drama. At recess, the circle of kids widened when he approached, not out of respect, but rejection. Whispers turned into laughter. The names got sharper. Robot. Teacher's pet. Toilet boy. That one stung the most, because he didn't understand it, yet. His once favorite place, the school library, began to feel cold. Even the books couldn't comfort him. He stopped raising his hand. Stopped making eye contact. But every morning, he still packed his bag the same way. Hope, maybe. Or habit. He didn't know. What he did know, was that the looks were getting bolder. The pranks, crueler. And something darker was coming. He could feel it. It happened on a rainy Thursday. Ethan stayed after class to finish a science poster, alone, as usual. As he walked past the empty gym, he heard it, laughter. Then, a door creaked open. And before he could turn, arms grabbed him. Cold metal. Wet porcelain. The bathroom. His head, shoved into a toilet. The sting of water. The echo of laughter. "Welcome to the real world, genius," someone hissed. And then silence. They left him soaked, humiliated. But not broken. That night, Ethan didn't cry. He searched. He found a camera, an old school security lens no one thought worked. But it did. The footage? Blurry, but enough. He recognized shoes. Backpacks. Voices. The next morning, for the first time, he didn't lower his eyes. He had something now. Something they didn't expect. And the game was about to change. Ethan couldn't sleep. He watched the footage again and again. 3 boys. One holding the door. One laughing. One filming. But what froze him wasn't just the faces. It was what came after. In the corner of the video, almost hidden, was a teacher. Watching. Not stopping. Not even moving. Just walking away. Ethan's stomach twisted. This wasn't just a prank. This was a pattern, protected. Normalized. And no one ever said a word. He realized, it wasn't about him being different. It was about a system that let cruelty hide in plain sight. Fear mixed with fury. He wanted to scream, but he couldn't. Who would believe him? Who wanted to believe him? And yet, something inside shifted. The pain didn't shrink him this time. It lit something. Something sharp. Focused. Because now, he knew the truth. And truth doesn't stay silent for long. The principal's office smelled like old carpet and fear. Ethan sat alone, clutching a USB drive, the footage. His fingers trembled, but his eyes didn't flinch. This was it. He could stay silent, or speak. But just as he reached to hand it over, the door opened. One of the boys, and his mother. A PTA leader. Connected. Smiling. "This is all a misunderstanding," she said sweetly, before Ethan could speak. The principal glanced at Ethan, then the drive, then quickly away. And Ethan felt it. That same silence again. Heavy. Complicit. The truth was in his hands, and still, it was slipping. But something stopped him from standing up. Not fear. Strategy. If the school wouldn't act, maybe someone else would. Someone bigger. The story wasn't over. But now, it wasn't just a schoolyard problem. It was a fight against a wall much taller. And he was done backing down. Days passed. Then weeks. Nothing changed. The bullies still roamed the halls, louder now, bolder. Ethan became invisible, but not in the way he wanted. One afternoon, he came home to find his science fair project, the one he'd worked on for months, smashed to pieces in the rain. No note this time. Just silence. And for the first time, he crumbled. Not just tears, a collapse. His safe place, his mind, cracked open under the weight. He stopped eating. Stopped speaking. Even the stars he once loved felt far away. Was this how it ended? A quiet defeat? But then, a teacher he barely knew, the computer lab tech, knocked on his desk. "I saw your video," she whispered. "Do you still have it?" Ethan looked up. Eyes red, heartbroken, but something sparked. He wasn't alone. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the end. The IT teacher had contacts, real ones. Within days, Ethan's video reached the district board. And then, the local news. His story aired quietly at first, just another segment. But something about it struck a chord. Emails flooded in. Parents. Former students. Even teachers, all sharing their stories. The school couldn't ignore it anymore. Investigations opened. The bullies were suspended. The silent teacher, let go. And Ethan? He was invited to speak. At a school assembly. Microphone in hand, heart pounding, he told his story. Not with anger, but truth. Honest. Clear. And the auditorium listened, really listened. For the first time, he wasn't a target. He was a voice. A leader. Afterward, a younger boy came up to him. "They used to do that to me, too," he said softly. Ethan smiled, knees still shaking. Because now, everything had changed. And it started, with a choice not to stay silent. Ethan never became the most popular kid in school. He didn't need to. He became something rarer, respected. The boy who once sat alone at lunch now mentored others who were too afraid to speak. He joined the student council. Helped rewrite the school's anti-bullying policy. And each time he passed that bathroom, he didn't look away. He remembered. Not with pain, but purpose. Because the moment they tried to drown him, was the moment he learned how to rise. Not in anger. But in truth. And now, a question for you. Have you ever watched something happen, and said nothing? Have you ever been Ethan, or worse, been the one who walked away? Think about that. Because stories like his don't just live in schools. They live everywhere. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, share this with someone who needs it, and remember, silence protects no one.